What is going on, everybody? Zoo back here once again in No Man's Sky Expedition 1. Now, before we get into this, if you like No Man's Sky and you appreciate this kind of content, you'd be doing me a big favor by hitting subscribe or a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and I would appreciate it. So thank you so much in advance. Let's get into this. Alright, so what we're looking at is Phase 1 here. Now we're going to go through each phase and I'm going to kind of tell you which ones I think are going to give you the most trouble and what you should do or when you should start working on those. Now getting right into it, this is pretty straightforward. Reach your ship, leave the planet, go light speed. This is all pretty straightforward. But naturalist, you want to make sure you're scanning animals as soon as you start this expedition. Just start scanning animals. Also, the pilgrim, you want to be working on this one straight away. You only have to walk 8,000 U's, but you got to make sure it's selected as the the mission you're working on. Capital on deck. This is going to happen after you warp. You're going to run into the freighter battle and you're going to get yourself a freighter. I would suggest you just take the first freighter that they give you. Once you get the freighter, you want to start mission control in phase 3 right away. So what you need to do is you need to build a fleet control room, and you're gonna it starts you out with one frigate already. And if you look carefully, there's missions that are less than an hour. They're about an hour. So you gotta figure it's gonna take you 3 hours to do mission control. Now, one other thing about mission control I noticed is if for whatever reason the frigate needs to be called back, you still get the update that it did the mission, even if it didn't do it successfully, if you have to call back the frigate. So start that one as soon as you can. Now, phase 2, again, pretty straightforward stuff here. Enter a black hole. You just got to talk to Paulo at the space anomaly and he'll tell you where to get a black hole. Rocket Man can be done right from the beginning. All you need to do is dig inside of a cave and just jetpack against the cave wall for 20 seconds and you'll get that update. The farmer is one that can slow you down, or you can do it very easy. You do not have to grow the 20 plants. You just have to harvest 20 plants. So you can find somebody else's base where they already grew the plants and just harvest them, and that one's done. So right by Rendezvous 4, there is a base someone built. I can't remember their name, but thank you for building it, called like Frost Crystal something. And there is where you can do that one. Okay, now money bags. This could take you a little bit. Depending if you've run prior expeditions or got Twitch drops, this one could be very easy because you can just go claim your Twitch drop ships and scrap them. But if that's not an option for you, you're gonna earn units by doing these things anyway. So it shouldn't be too hard to reach 2 million, but if you're having trouble, then you want to be selling things like the ancient bones, because you need to get those anyway. You need to find bones and stuff like that, or sorry, you need to find the artifacts, so those sell for a good amount. So 2 million units is really not too difficult to do. Okay, so the collector here, these artifacts do sell for a lot, so you do want that. But you also need to adopt 3 pets for this one. So I would suggest you do this earlier rather than later, because the pets have the ability to dig these artifacts up for you. So start this one as soon as you can. Like I said with this one, start these 2 as soon as you can. Now, this one, I didn't really have to go out of my way to get this one. Just playing along, I got enough nanites. I did scrap some ships, though. So if you're having trouble with this one, you might want to scrap some ships. But you probably don't have to, because you are going to need to run a derelict freighter. And those you can make a lot of nanites from. So that shouldn't be too hard. A-class multi-tool. This again, just check the cabinets in the space station. You're bound to come across an A-class multi-tool sooner or later. You can watch my video for where I got mine. Now, visiting these different colored systems, there's the green one, and there's also the red one, and I think there's a blue one. So that means you're going to need to buy in the space anomaly, you're going to need the emerald drive, the indium drive, and the cadmium drive. So you will need to get those, but once you have them, those are pretty easy to knock out. So here we are in phase 4. Linguophile. Now this is important. You can do this one at a space station. You just need to talk to the aliens and learn 15 words. I would start this one right from the beginning. In every space station you go to, talk to all the aliens there, and you can finish this one very quick. Famous Explorer is a very tough one. You need to do Explorer Guild missions, but the Explorer Guild missions are kind of hard to find. So what I would suggest for that one is every space station you go to, check with the mission giver. And if he has Explorers Guild missions, grab them. It doesn't mean you have to start them right at that point, but you can stock up on them so later you can just go bang them all out. Because what can end up happening is you'll do an Explorer Guild mission, then you won't be able to find another one at another space station, and it can take time. So you should be looking for those right from the start, even before you're going to do the mission. Acquire an A-class ship. This is very easy if you've done any of the prior expeditions or got the Twitch drops before, because you can just claim those and get an A-class ship, which in this expedition, as soon as you get an A-class ship, the reward for that is an S-class ship. If you don't have that option, you're going to have to buy an A-class ship. You could trade yours in, but it might slow you down a bit because you're going to have to stop, make some money to get an A-class ship. Whispering Eggs, this one's not too tough. You can do this on a moon, on like an airless moon. It's not too hard to do, or around one of those buildings that you'll find on planets. But this one can take a while, so that's why I say start looking for those missions as soon as you can. Now, Cleanse by Fire, do a derelict freighter. This one, the only tip I have for you is make sure you have a gun, like the scatter blaster, or, you know, don't go in there with the mining beam, or you're just gonna, you'll get killed, and it makes it really difficult. I tried to do that, was not a good time, but that one's not too tough either. Okay, and final, Rendezvous 5. Okay, so this one, the Survivor, as well as Stormy Skies. These can both be done at the same time. You just need to look for any planet that's storming along the way. And when you find a stormy planet, just bang these two out. Not too hard. Boundary Failure. You got to kill 25 Sentinels. This one's not too tough as long as you have like the Scatter Blaster or a decent multi-tool, which you probably would have found by this point. So this one's actually not too tough. What I would suggest is you kill like 2 waves of Sentinels, then hide from them, and then start fighting them again. That way you don't have to deal with the walker and the dogs that much. Makes it pretty easy. The Jackpot. This one's not that bad either. Your pets can help you with this. This is those artifacts again. When they find those artifacts, they could be worth, you know, over 1 million, some of them. Now, charting 16 waypoints. This one can be difficult. So, again, starting right from the beginning of the expedition, what I would suggest is you start collecting nav data. Anytime you see nav data, collect it, because you're going to need those maps, because you need to chart 16 waypoints. So if you don't happen to see any along your way and you get to this one and you're like, okay, now I need to do 16, you're going to need to buy 16 or maybe more than 16 maps to find the waypoints. So I have a complete walkthrough with chapters so you could see how I did each one of these steps. and hopefully that will help you out. I just wanted to make this little video to give you some tips, and in the link below you could watch the whole thing and see how I did each one of these. This expedition, we only have a little more than a week left to do it. This is one of the longer ones, but it really, I think it can be completed in 5 hours, maybe a little bit quicker. The thing is, those frigate missions, there's no way around that. It's going to take a minimum of probably 3 hours to get those 3 updated. And then if you grow your own plants, this is important. If you end up growing your own plants, make sure you grow frostwort, because that grows the quickest. The frost crystals, those grow in like an hour, so you could do that one. So this whole thing could be done in about 5 hours, but you know, if you have the time, I'd say take your time with it. You'll probably enjoy it more. But yeah, that's what I got for you. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thumbs up, subscribe. You'd be helping me out. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.